Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the final episode of Japan versus the World, where things are looking pretty bleak. As you can see here, the armed forces from the US and the UK have finally overthrown us in Moscow, and we're not only at a numbers disadvantage, but a forces disadvantage, an IPC disadvantage. We have all of the disadvantages, really. So, we're going to create as many diversions as we can to try and stave off the imminent threat. So we're going to go ahead and grab 6 infantry for over here in Manchuria, as well as over here in Calcutta. And the remainder of our units we're going to go ahead and sink into some fighters and bank the extra, I guess, and leave those here in the mainland, because that's the last place that we have to build out of. So let's head that way. As far as combat goes, there's not a whole lot we can do, but to stave off imminent defeat for at least one more turn, we can move our transport over here to this sea zone, picking up this tank on the way and dropping him off in Paris. And that will grant us a momentary boost of 6 additional IPC, give us a victory city back, only to have the US retake it immediately. That's really all we're going to be able to do, if I'm being completely fair and honest here. So a rather uneventful combat phase. Non-combat, we're going to move these guys over into this sea zone with the rest of my transport so they don't get entirely obliterated. And that's going to be it, because I don't have a need to move anyone else, or really an ability to move anyone else. I'm going to leave him there to stave off some defense a little longer, and these bombers are terrible on the defensive, so there's no point in putting them anywhere. Let's cut our losses and move into our placement. So let's place 3 infantry up there in Manchuria, 3 down here in Calcutta, and put the rest of our planes out of the mainland and call it good. Well, I thought perhaps we would get another turn, but that is not going to be the case, as the UK has moved into Calcutta in India, and I have no troops anywhere near to retaliate. So we're going to take our final turn, and that's going to be it, because there's nothing further we can do here. I have no way to get down to this area, so let's just, make ourselves an impulse buy, because we're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. And for combat, honestly, what I'm going to do is we're going to take these fighters in here and these infantry in here, and then, because it'll be funny, let's move all of our units from here to fight off the British Navy and probably get absolutely annihilated, because they've got more numbers than we do, in all honesty. But no one said that it wasn't going to be fun, so let's get a couple last rounds of combat in here before we are just absolutely steamrolled. And we'll have fun doing it. So here's our attack in Sea Zone 8, where numbers-wise, we're not doing terrible. But let's see how many damage rolls we can get in here. Nothing from the aircraft carrier. That's pretty standard. Let's see our submarine and our destroyer. Submarine, it looks like his submarine doesn't get his benefit because we've got a couple of destroyers here we're dealing with. But that's 1 hit. Let's see, our cruiser gets nothing, and our battleship, thankfully, gets a hit. Let's see how many returned fire we have here. Nothing from their destroyers, which is good to see. But from their cruisers, it looks like we're getting at least 1, and 1 is all they're getting. So let's take 1 hit on our battleship. because that'll leave him afloat for another turn and keep attacking. Nothing there. One more hit here. That'll take out the submarine, or the destroyer, which will allow our submarines to be a little bit more useful in the next turn. That cruiser still hasn't done anything, unfortunately. And one more hit onto their cruiser there is what we're looking for. No hits from the destroyer, and we're going to get at least one hit from the cruisers. Let's take it on... Oh, I can't take it on the non-combatant, so let's take it on the aircraft carrier. Got nothing to land on it anyway. Let's press forward. Submarine. Let's press that attack. And got a hit on that. So that takes out one cruiser without any retaliation. And this will probably be the end for them, actually. Provided that either my cruiser or my bomber can get a hit. Or by bomber, I mean battleship. But nope, we're going to another round of combat here. No return fire there. Let's get our surprise attack in. And, well, we did get a hit. Again, that's good to see, as that takes out the remainder of the cruisers. There we are. And no returning fire. No, we are going to get one returning hit. Let's take that on the submarine, because why not? It's the cheapest thing, and it got us a couple of hits. So, hey, never write off the Japanese Navy, because they just dealt a pretty nasty blow, even though we just lost the fight. So let's move over into Anhui. Hopefully this will just be one round of combat, as it should only take us one round to get at least one hit off of these guys. Nothing from the infantry. We've got 4 fighters, though. I'm not too concerned about not getting a hit here. Commentator's curse, am I right? And of course we're taking the one hit onto our infantry there. Let's keep going. Nothing from our infantry. Come on, fighters. Don't do me dirty again. That's the one and only hit that we need. And no more returning fire, so we are good on that front. That's all we can do. So, nothing further to report, I guess. Would have been cool to have taken the mainland here, but I just didn't have any units that I could dump in, and really nothing they could have done anyway. So, non-combat, let's move these guys back down to here, as if they were going to defend that spot. And move this guy down, I guess, to here. But it doesn't matter what we do, because we're going to mobilize some units from here and then call it a game, because US is going to finish up their turn. We took a hefty hit to our IPC count there, and it really doesn't matter what the US does. You know what, let's follow the player and what they're doing here for a little bit. See how they finish off our navy, I guess, for a little bit of some additional attack power, if you want to call it that. Alright. Their submarines, destroyers are going to roll in and take all the hits that they need on my crew. Let's see how much damage we can return to them, I suppose. Hey, good hit from the destroyer there. I suppose. They were taking a minute to figure out where they were putting that hit. Gonna take another moment to figure out where they're putting this one. But, hey, maybe we can get 3 sweep out of here. Battleship, yep, took 3 of them out, but wasn't going to be enough, so unfortunately that's the end of the Japanese Navy. Let's close out the combat here. And Anhui, not much left holding on there. Maybe we can at least defend that. Nope, not going to happen. But that's going to be the end of the game there. They've got the 10 cities they need, and the US's final turn ends out the combat. 35 rounds, for most of which we were pretty dominant. But that's just kind of the way that these things go sometimes, so it is what it is. Well, thanks for watching along with this series. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. We bring content to you on a daily basis, and that subscription is free and easy, so what are you waiting for? Thanks again for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Take care.